welcome back. We had a bit of a technical issue there that saw us lose a bit of an internet at the close of that last game, which Team England won with Milling and Imran. And we're looking ahead now to one of the great Mosconi Cup matches of the last decade. It's Shane Van Boening against Darren Appleton, and my colleague Jeremy Jones here has just got his headphones back on, having had a quick bite to eat. But yeah, this is a much anticipated game. It's a big tester for Shane as well. I mean, Shane's never been one of the top boys in the Mosconi Cup in the last decade since he's been playing in it. And he really needs a good year this year. And I think a lot of people believe if Shane does have a good year, then the USA team are going to win it. But let's see how he does with Darren Appleton, who, as I say, these guys have got a long history, mainly in Darren's favour. But let's see what happens now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it matters right here, right now, but I think it will matter next week. That I think Shane's even gotten better. I mean, it's a hard thing to really say, right? But like considerably better, mentally, confidence-wise, just everything.
I don't think anyone's ever questioned Shane's, he's standing at the top of the tree in pool, especially American pool, but just one of those things at the Mosconi Cup, he's never really managed to perform to his best. And I guess there's an argument that it's going to happen sooner or later, and maybe it's going to be this year that he does it.
Yeah, very similar probably to maybe a Tiger Woods, right? His Ryder Cup.
Very great parallel, yeah, because Woods is obviously probably the greatest golfer ever and won everything, but never really had any great times in the Ryder Cup in the years he's been playing in it, which started, I think, 1997 was his first Ryder Cup. Yeah,
and it's even when the U.S. won, it wasn't like you could ever call him the MVP.
No,
so.
No.
Well, Shane making a nice shot on the 2 and really getting exactly where he wanted to be, making the rack. He could have played the 3 out in the middle of the table, but being able to draw back and get straight on the 3 makes the 4 so much easier. He's got some work, though. You can see that he's got to play the 5 up in the corner. So he's got to get an angle to where he can come across the table for the 6. So even though they're a bit open, there's definitely some concern. Should be okay there. That's a natural angle. He can choose to pinch draw this a little bit, but I'm sure he'll go in between the 7 and 8. He could stay on this side of the 8, but I don't think that's necessary. I think he'll just guide it in between the 7 and 8, I believe, anyways. Like so. Yeah, nice shot. He's gotten a little bit funny here, meaning he can't just slow roll it. He'll get a little too thin on the 8. So I don't think he can just slow roll it. He may have to go up to the rail and back out, which I think is a better choice most likely. It's hard to tell from the booth exactly what angle he has. Like we talk about pool, it doesn't, just a little bit makes a huge difference. Oh, he can hold it. But he'll have to draw this ball a bit. Doesn't want to catch the 9, meaning he doesn't want to run into the 9 with the cue ball. And just like last match, a dry break and a run out behind it.
That was a nice run out, Jeremy, wasn't it? Nice.
He's
always looked in control of it, even when he lost a tiny bit of position at the end there.
Well, we talked about it before that many consider, Shane, of course, breaks the balls maybe better than anybody on the planet. But a lot of people really think that that's, the biggest part of his game. But after the break, I still consider him one of the top, probably 4 or 5 in the world after the break. And then having the best break in the world on top of it, put that combination together is pretty tough. Talking outside. How old do you think this building is? Ooh, a couple 100 years old, 150 years old maybe?
It's called railway arches. So when you build a railway bridge, a long railway bridge, and along the underside of it is arches, which have historically always been taken up by small businesses. Just craftsmen and artisans going back centuries. And obviously pool clubs as well.
Right.
He didn't ask me to, I don't. Okay.
So the referee's given Shane a re-rack now. Although the rules do state that once the referees rack the ball, they're racked. Back and forth.
Yeah, the guy's having a little bit of fun with the rack. Yeah. So that's why you see Shane pulling the cue ball out to the center. He's not in love with what the 1 looks like attached to the 7 and 8. So. Made 3. Shows you the power that man has. And this is what I'm talking about as far as one of the best, coming with the tough shots as well. And I don't want to jinx one of our players, that's for sure, but I'd like to bet on him making this, that's for sure. I don't want to bet against him. Nice shot.
You got to say it looks pretty easy from here.
That's basically this 3 ball. Is he going to go to the rail and over? I think he'll just hold there. I don't think he has to go to the rail and over. Yeah, nice shot. Fairly routine 3 balls to take a 2-0 lead and applying some pressure to Darren here for rack 3. Great out after that opening 2 ball.
It was probably the most productive break of the tournament so far, I think, and he certainly capitalised on it.
Yeah, and ironically, after a bit of fun about the rack prior to the break.
Yeah, so. I mean, the rule is that the players can inspect the racks, but they can't touch the rack or ask for it to be re-racked. And obviously a bit of confusion with the referee, and he re-racked it, but as you say, the re-rack couldn't have been that good because Shane was breaking from the centre.
Right.
But then he crashed it home and put 3 down and set up a nice run out for what's the score now? 3-0?
2-0.
2-0, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, the third rack. England to break.
And Darren not even checking the rack. He's going to stick to the right side, his right. I like the variation in the racks, though, meaning the outcome of the breaks. See a lot more pool that way.
Yes, you do. Nothing down there.
No, and I don't think he can see any of the ones. So, again, a difficult rollout situation. There's never really an easy rollout situation at this level. He's looking at a jump shot that I don't think he'll get back. because there's a opportunity for safety behind it. So he's looking at rolling out over that pocket, trying to possibly whoever shoots it play maybe a cross-side bank with a little bit of element of a two-way shot, meaning involving a little bit of safety if he misses. And Darren, I think, immediately passed it, which is a little bit surprising in my point of view. You know, Darren may not be in love with the jump shot in that situation, but most guys are going to snooker you from here. Bank the 1 down table and use the 2, maybe even draw behind the 8 and the 4. So we'll see. Yeah, and that's why I really was surprised that Darren passed that shot.
Yeah, he said he's likely to snooker him, and he certainly done that right up behind the 8 ball there.
Yeah, not a soft snooker either. You know, some snookers, you know the guy's going to kick and hit the ball, but this one here is very difficult. The 7's got the 1 rail cut off. The 8's got the other 1 rail cut off. The 2 rail is very awkward and elevated, meaning he's over the 8 when he's kicked, or over the 8.
Extension call.
So, he's got his hands full here. Thing here, though, is if he does hit it, he's probably going to be shooting it with a light speed. So good chance that the 3 will get involved, maybe to where he could get a snooker, or maybe even a little bit of congestion. So that's going to go long in contact. Oh no, he caught the 1, and what a great shot. He's going to be underneath the 3 most likely, I think. I think he may be able to get underneath there with the cue ball. And Darren really a little bit unlucky that he didn't catch a little more on the side of the 1 and pin the cue ball behind the 3. I think Shane can 2 rail bank this 1 to the back rail kind of behind the 2 and try to nestle the cue ball underneath the 3. I think he can. Not 100%, but I think so. He's close enough to it. He should be able to slowly move the cue ball over, trying to get underneath that 3. Oh, he went ahead and said, heck with that. I'm going to make sure that I get the 1 to the back rail. I don't think he was trying to make the 1 in the side.
No. No, because the leave's obviously very awkward on the 2 ball there.
Now, is he just banking the 2 back down by the 7 and just leaving him long in a lot of distance? I don't think he can go for this. Oh, wow. And I thought he could make the 2, but the reason why I didn't think he would go for it is because I just didn't see a future in getting on the 3. But after shooting at that 2, I think he'll be long rail banking the 3 as well. Now, usually you'll hit the side rail here on the new felt a lot of times. You'll overcut the bank a little bit, like that. That's the tendency whenever you're on the newer felt. Pretty fortunate, though, that you see what he's done with the 5.9 on the side rail.
Up quite tight on that rail there.
And really no opportunity to break the ball out either, I don't believe. He could roll this in and try and get a little past the 4, trying to get an angle to send the cue ball at the 5.9 after he shoots the 4. Okay, got a little thin. He wanted to be able to shoot this in the upper left and go 3 rails with the cue ball, trying to attack on the breaking out the 5.9, but you see he missed the 3 to the right side of the pocket a little bit, so that made the cue ball move a little more left, which in my opinion probably got him too thin to be able to break these balls out. Oh, what a great shot.
He's going to get them.
Watch out for the scratch. Oh wow, what a shot. I thought he may scratch off of it.
It's a great shot, but it's still a tough 5 ball he's got there right down the rail.
And he's got a 5 that he'll bring the cue ball back for a little bit of a safety, meaning leave some distance. But the key is you want to hit it with a little more speed. That way the 5 doesn't hang over the pocket. You don't want the 5 near the pocket. Like that shot, you want to hit it with more speed. That way if it hits the pocket crudely, it comes away. So now distance isn't too much of a problem since the 5's so near the hole. Great shot there. That was much more difficult than obviously not making the ball, but keeping the line on the cue ball. I'm not sure if you got to watch much of the Dream Challenge in Russia this year.
I watched a little bit of it there, Jeremy. Yeah, that went.
If you got to see this guy play his last 2 matches, it was unbelievable. Trailing in both the matches in a deficit you wouldn't think was something you could come back from, but he got out from everywhere. Most of the racks looked like a tough Rubik's Cube, and he made it look easy to get out. He'll go rail first here, mildly.
He's looking pretty good, Shane, I have to say.
Oh. Tell you what, he's been pretty motivated, pretty excited, looking forward to this trip to London, I'll tell you. And you would think that, you know, after many years of struggling in Mosconi, it takes a certain type of special to be so eager.
I've always thought with Shane, there must come a point where he, when it comes to the Mosconi Cup, that he's kind of a bit sick of losing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's a team game, so not everything's on you. There's another 4 guys in the team, but there must be a time where you just think, oh, do you know what, I'm just tired of losing every round in this thing.
And we talked about it different times, Johan and I, and I've talked about it with other people sometimes. That, you know, I don't know Shane, he's been playing pool since a very young age. But with his handicap, you know, there's maybe a time at his young age that he didn't play many like team sports like a lot of us did. So there may have been a situation where he had to get used to that type of situation, you know, a type of feeling you get from the camaraderie and how much it really means and, you know, what it does for you. Don't think he's got an offensive shot here. He's carrying the jump cue with him. The problem with this jump is that cue ball is going into that rail quickly, so if it's a little bit airborne, you could lose the cue ball off the table. I think he'll bank the one up by the 3 and play the cue ball just kind of softly behind the 2. Or, oh, can he get at it and 2 rail it out? That would be nice. Like that, that's awesome. He can go for a chance to make it. Oh, he doesn't want to hang it, though.
I think he's got that covered, I believe.
Yeah. But, you know, even if he's got to use the jump cue, you know he's a humongous favorite to make the 1. It's all about can he get back down for the 2. Curve shot. I would much rather go with the jump than the curve. The curve, to have any chance to get shape, everything has to be hit so precisely, meaning you can't hit the ball full at all. You followed it in, and if you hit it just a little bit thick, the cue ball's not going to travel very far. See, like that. And so I think the jump cue is a little better call there. Okay, so he'll kick to the bottom rail trying to guide the cue ball behind the 3, I believe. Oh no, he hit the other side. Pretty nice effort there. But unfortunately for Darren, he's left a look at this too for Shane, and again, sometimes you get the feeling it just doesn't matter with him. What you leave him, he's gonna get it done.
Well, he certainly left the the correct edge of the 2-ball out there, and do you fancy Shane to take this?
Yeah, the interesting thing about this shot, and the one thing how I love how Shane plays, is he really plays for what he thinks is correct. Meaning, even if it raises how hard the shot is, like right here, he's got to hit this a little easy coming back and forth, because otherwise he may get hooked behind the 5-6.
So Darren's trying to fluke that up table, and he's got a shot on the 3-ball. And now he has a 4-9 into the centre pocket to reduce the deficit to 3-1. And he makes it. European, the English lads seem to be enjoying themselves. They stayed down in London last night, and my understanding is they had a convivial evening and arrived here for the match about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and they're giving a good account of themselves.
Thank you, the 5th round. England to break trading. 3 rounds to 1.
So there was one down there for Darren. I'm just trying to spot which one it was. I think it was the no, it was the 5-ball. I think he's blocked or partially blocked on the 1-ball, so he's going for his jump key.
Extension call.
If he makes this, the 2-ball is on there, but he didn't. He ploughed it straight into the 9-ball, and it's ball in hand for Van Boening.
Ball in hand.
Problem on this layout appears to be the 6 and the 7, which are sort of tied up down towards the bottom rail. Although the 7 will go in a combination with the 6.
left. You have an extension left. Are you using it?
Yeah.
Extension full.
Depending on how straight on that 6 and 7 are, it certainly looks makeable. Van Boening giving it a second look. And played that really well. Just needs a little bit of... yeah, that's okay. Has he overrun that? Yes, he has. This is a critical point now. There's 2 balls left on the table and it's 3-1 to the USA. So 4-1 and 3-2 are 2 big different scores. Is he banking it? He is. And he misses it. So Appleton has the 8s and the 9 to get it back to 3-2. And he misses the 8 as well. But leaves a real tough one for Van Boening with the cueing hampered by the 9 ball there, and just the finest of cuts along the rail to convert this one. Seemed to double kiss that as it came off. I mean, Appleton now looks heavy favourite to take this rack. And that makes it 3-2 to USA. As the Appleton-Van Boening rivalry continues.
Thank you, rack 6. USA straight, leading 3 racks.
So Van Boening breaking from the centre again, something that brought him big success last time he did that, with 3 balls down. Despite giving that a pounding, nothing dropped, and Appleton is back on the table, though whether the 1 ball is makeable is open to question. He played a great bank shot there. Has moved the 2 ball out as well to leave that into the top right pocket. And I think that the 3 ball may pass the 9 there. Or is a combination on? Yeah, he takes the combo and that's 3-all. That was a quick lap, one of the quickest of the day in fact. And the match is now finally poised.
Thank you, rack 7. England to break. 3 racks each.
This time it's Appleton's turn to leave all the balls on the table, and Boening, the balls are spread out nicely. The ones are... Is the 8 ball in the way at all? I don't think so. And on this layout you really have to fancy Van Boening from here. And that's a great shot with 3 rails. Wondering what that noise is, it's the trains coming over every few minutes from Waterloo Station. Well, that was a perfect shot. I'd like to come a bit further, but it should be a formality to take it to 4-3. And with the break in his favour, he must be fancying USA to take this one and move ahead. I'm talking to the USA captain Johan Reisink. Him and the team have put in an awful lot of work this year. It's not an easy thing, I don't think, to try and get 6 to 8 guys together periodically and work through it and try and create a team. But it's looking like in this warm-up match in London ahead of the Mosconi Cup that at least they seem to be gelling and they seem to be fairly comfortable with each other. Obviously it's a different kettle of fish completely next week in front of 2,000 people at the Alexandra Palace, but if they can get around that bit, you think that's a better chance than they've had in the previous few years.
I'm trying for you. USA to great lead. 4 racks to 3.
Nothing came or fell down in that break, and it's gone back to Appleton, but with the 2 and the 4 blocking the 1 from the cue ball, he'll either be jumping or rolling out somewhere.
Extension call. And push. Push out. Extension call, push out.
So Appleton's pushing out, which is probably the most strategic shot in a game of pool. Now Shane decides whether he wants to take on the shot to the 1 ball, or if he wants, he can pass it straight back to Appleton. He's not quite sure on this one. Yeah, he's throwing it back to Appleton, and let's see, presumably Appleton would have played the push out with something in mind for himself should Van Boening hand it back to him, and we should now see. Unfortunately, he missed the 1 ball entirely. Just done Van Boening a great big favour, seeing as the match poised at where it is.
Ball in there.
He's got to find the right side to attack the 2 ball, which is locked against the 4. Clearly it can go straight into the middle pocket. It's looking quite good for Van Boening now. Just there's a little bit of the 6 and the 7 are quite close together, but I think the 6 passes easily. It's hard to believe Van Boening will be playing in his 12th Mosconi Cup coming up next week, and has only ever been on the winning side once. Well, there's some a lot of people think that this year they've got a really good chance, despite having a couple of novices in the side in Thorpe and Styer. But if certainly Styer can play the way he did in the first match today, although he's up in the next, so we'll see what he looks like in a doubles match. But it looks quite promising. And Boening, meanwhile, is looking at the 7 ball. It's called an extension. Just to try and get in behind the 9 for the 8. Which he just about does. He's kissed the 9, but I don't think it's a huge problem. He's going up into the top pocket. And that's it. 5-3 to USA. As Van Boening beats Appleton in a Mosconi Cup style match for the first time in a very, very long time. Next up we have a doubles match, and we'll be back shortly.
No, this is it. Just the one that comes with it.
Fingers in the end.
The one that comes with it is like Victory.
Yeah. It's pretty good. But I just got sponsored by Towns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But wow.
Better than the.
What is that? That's unbelievable.
Better than the Victory.
Just in the end.
That's the medium? Oh, the sauce must be like.
Are you cleaning the table? Sorry. Yeah. I was saying the same level. Draw by something. Only mind you, Pete.
It isn't terrible, but I mean, when you've got a play like that,
Yeah.
getting shot, you need to get some food. No, I'm just going to put the 3 here. Oh, no, I mean, you should. Oh, yeah. Wait for the roll off. You got that time. Wait for it. You didn't know, did you?
a gap here, but it's hardly anything.
Yeah. If there's any significance like that, then it's the free ball. Fair enough. But I'll just try and remember to get it. Yeah, like that. Just for whatever reason they're going well.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Team England versus Team USA pre-Mosconi Cup warm-up match. My name is Emily Fraser from Matchroom Multisport, and I'm joined by Corey Jewell here.
Hello, everyone. Okay, good match here.
Thank you. Race to 5 racks. First rack, England to break.
So in this pre-warm-up style for the Mosconi Cup, we are playing a race to 7 points. It is 3 apiece for both England versus USA. And now our final match of this afternoon session, obviously Mark Gray Cowboys against Billy Thorpe and Tyler.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with Team England so far. Carl Boyes made a great 4-ball that was near the side pocket. So they've been playing well. Chris Melling played really nice. And, just a hair too far there. That was a good safety. It's just the table's a little bit slow. I don't think he... Looks like USA can see the 2, maybe a 2-9 combination. Or I think the 2-ball passes the 9 into the pocket, but I think they can also try and play some sort of safety, overcutting the 2 and playing the cue ball 2 rails behind the 7-ball. If you don't want to shoot, if it's a little bit too tight. I went for the combo, and pretty easy shot. He's left here, so pretty straight though. So it looks like Mark's gonna probably try and draw out to the middle of the table. Might have a little angle to slide up. Oh yeah, he had a little angle, punched it. That was a nice shot, actually.
It's a nice shot there from Mark, isn't it?
Yeah, Mark's playing nice too. All these guys are playing pretty well. I know a lot of people are saying that it's arguable that this team could compete with the European Mosconi team also. What do you think of that?
Well, all of the players here, I think, by Imran's obviously played in the Mosconi, and they're all worthy of playing in that team for Europe. So that's why this is just the perfect warm-up game for, obviously, you guys.
Yeah, I think all these guys are very savvy. They know the shots real well. Making good choices, good safety decisions and stuff like that. So.
And it's the Party Poker Mosconi Cup, which we're playing for next week. We'll be kicking that off next Tuesday, the 4th of December, and it'll be running Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So if you're not going to be attending the event, make sure you tune in. Obviously, watch on Sky Sports main event. And for you USA fans over there who haven't flown over to come and watch, it's going to be live on Facebook.
Make sure to dress to impress.
Yes, certainly dress to impress. I'm actually very interested to see about these fancy dress prizes.
I would love it to see a whole bunch of cowboys in the stands.
Cowboys?
Cowboys, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you guys are
cowboys
out there who are obviously attending the Mosconi Cup, Corey wants you all dressed as cowboys.
Cowboy hats.
And I can say that maybe the best cowboy outfit on one of the days is going to get the £250 prize.
There we go.
So you've heard it straight here, guys. So that's the first rack to Team England. And it will be Tyler to break next. We're here at the Spots and Stripes Club in London for this Team England, Team USA pre-Mosconi Cup match.
Second rack, USA to break.
And it is
Trailing 1 rack to
3-all at the moment. First to 7 points. I'm telling you now, we're going to be in for a long night ahead of us, Corey.
That's good. Tyler played a really nice match earlier. It was almost a flawless match.
If he brings that out for the Mosconi Cup next week,
Yeah,
Team Europe are bang in trouble, right?
That'd be great. Yeah, that would be really nice. It's just getting the breakdown on this table is very difficult. It's not breaking easy. So we're trying to figure out if the 1 passes the 4 into the corner pocket. If anybody can shoot straight, it's Mark Gray. He's an ex-snooker player, so he's got a very technically accurate stroke. He's going for the middle pocket. No, it looked like a slightly bad contact there.
And what's Team USA's plan here now at the table?
Well, the one goes, I'd say, come just underneath.
Reset up, please.
Across the table, 2 rails, the 2 in the same pocket. Maybe might even bump into the 8. Yeah, just like that. Just overcut it a little bit, but he always knew that he had some cover there. Even if he missed the ball, he wasn't going to leave an easy shot. So good pace. He played that nice speed. I think Carl can make this rail first, but he's going to have to spin the ball a lot.
I'm not sure Carl's been feeling very confident about this game today.
He's played well, though. He made
some
nice shots. I'm impressed with his play.
Nice shot.
I think he hit himself, though.
So it's a 30-second shot clock we have here.
Yeah.
Each player and or team gets 1 extension per rack.
Just came out enough where Mark has a shot at the 2. Curious if he's going to just play it slowly, 2 rails, or maybe go all the way around. If he hit this firm and try and come all the way around, I think he'll play it slow. This is a similar angle to the last shot where Darren Appleton missed the whole ball. That's a good shot.
That's a nice shot there.
Hair hard though. No, that's good. You just want to leave a little angle on the 4 so you can get the cue ball up table for the 5 easily. And then I think he'll just come out to the middle of the table and then play the 5 and take the cue ball 3 rails around, 2 rails around. The cue ball's in the middle of the table. You have a nice angle. There we go. So for me, I'm trying to hit the second diamond. I'm trying to take the cue ball 2 rails into the second diamond to make sure that I have a little angle on the 6 to get up for the 7. That's pretty good. A little long, a little straight in. The 7's right over the hole, so it shouldn't be too tough.
Mark and Carl seem to work nicely together, don't they, in this sort of Scotch
together.
doubles?
Yeah, they all get along. They've played a lot of Mosconi Cups together. They got a nice little banter on the sidelines. And these guys are all playing great. I mean, low there. I think he could have just dropped that in the side and been fine on the 8. He might shoot this in the corner now. Or run the cue ball into the 9. Could run the cue ball into the 9. He looks like he's going to draw it over. That was a good shot.
Lovely shot there.
Beautiful shot, yeah.
And that's 2-0 to Team England in this 6th match here. So just looking ahead of our dates here for Matchroom Pool, we're getting quite a big calendar when it comes to our pool events now, Corey. So we're looking at the Whirlpool Masters. It's going to be back in Gibraltar on the 29th to the 21st of March 2019. Different setup and format for next year. We've always had the 16 players invitational event, and I was saying to Jeremy earlier on, we've always had Shane in the tournament as such, and it's nice that we now can have the Mosconi Cup MVP player in there, so potentially
so we all have a chance now.
Exactly, Corey. Mosconi Cup MVP all the way.
I played in that tournament one time, but ever since Shane came around, it's like I don't even know that tournament exists anymore.
Well, there you go. Next week. What do you mean you don't even know the tournament exists?
Well, I know it exists. It's just
so you know,
he usually gets a few spots for some foreign tournaments.
Well, Corey's going to get a slap as soon as we finish in commentary after this game, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. Well, actually, one of my favorite tournaments I've ever played, Matchroom event, was the World Championships in Cardiff, when you used to do it in Cardiff. I know everybody loved that event. That was kind of the first.
A little bit before my time, Corey, I must say.
Those were really fun. I like those. And all the events that you guys do are really good, first class. So I'm really happy to see that you're doing some more events. And
well, we've got the US Open next year, 21st of April, back at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. It's soon becoming Matchroom's home of pool in the US.
Nothing wrong with that, you know.
Definitely not, and a little bit out of our comfort zone. Doing a multi-table, we're looking at obviously about 30 tables in for 256 players. Have you signed up yet, Corey?
I have. I told him that I wanted to play. I'm pretty sure I'm signed up. I would hope.
Well, you better be.
Okay. This is a little funny here. This one, it looks like a natural angle to scratch in the side pocket. So we'll see if he can miss the side here. A little bit far on this, but I think Mark can just play this pretty slowly, going past the 9. Or maybe he's going to draw it out to the middle of the table. Ooh, he tried to go out to the middle of the table. I think he caught a little heavy contact on that one. It looked like the cue ball really grabbed the 4. So Tyler hasn't had many shots. This is probably one of his first
of the match,
good
right?
look at the table.
What do you think about Tyler and Billy pairing? They obviously haven't played together that much.
It's a good pairing. They're a similar age group, and I think they've played with each other in the States, and they get along really good. So I like that as a matchup. Billy and Skylar also is good. So
yeah, I was commentating on Billy and Skylar's match earlier.
Extension.
and they just seem to be able to work a lot better together, but more just have fun on the table.
Yeah, the young guys have a good time. It's easy to get along with.
You're saying the young guys, Corey. Are you taking yourself out of that equation?
Well, you know, I'm not really old yet, so. Well, they I guess the now they used to say Prince of Pool for me. Now the young guys are calling me the principal of pool.
Principal.
So they're afraid I'm going to put them in detention.
We can change your nickname to that. That's fine.
Okay.
I do think that the fans, maybe the US fans, need to come up with a new nickname for Billy. So I'll leave it to the US. Yeah.
Torpedo?
Yeah, I think they need to come up with a new nickname for him. We won't tell him that we're doing that.
Oh, of course
and
not.
we'll leave it
They
to the
never
fans
told
to
me
decide.
when they, I think it was Matron that John McDonald.
Oh.
When I was
Well,
in Cardiff, he says,
we've got the famous Ted Lerner emceeing next week at the Party Poker Mosconi Cup.
Okay. Yeah. John McDonald, he said, Corey Jewel. He didn't say duel, he said Jewel in the crown. You're the prince. He says, Jewel in the crown.
He's never been too great on his pronunciations, I must say. So everyone who's tuned in today, this is the Team England versus Team USA warm-up event for the Party Poker Mosconi Cup. Takes place next Tuesday, the 4th of December, all the way up to Friday the 7th, and we will be at Alexandra Palace at 6:30 each evening, live on Sky Sports main event. And for you US fans, it's going to be live on Facebook as well, which is great news for everyone tuning in to support you
USA
and
to
your
break.
team, Corey.
Trailing 2 racks to
Well,
1.
greatly appreciated. I'll be happy to see all the fans there when we arrive. And Billy's breaking from the middle too. It seems like everybody's gone to the middle. Oh, he hit him nice. Stop the cue ball dead. What a break that was. That was beauty.
So it's currently 2-1 to England in this last match of the afternoon session, even though it's turning towards the evening. It is 3-all overall in this tournament. It is raced to 7 points, and it is 3-all.
Well, nice shot there from Tyler. Came twice across. I think I'd like Billy to go to the bottom rail and give an angle where he can just go just before the side to get on the 4. Oh, see, I think he just overdrew it. Now he's got him straight in. This could be real difficult to get on the 4 from here.
Tougher being up against the rail like that, right?
Yeah, he needed angle. I think he was trying to hit that harder and come all the way out to the middle of the table. So I think Tyler's going to need to just maybe come out 2 rails, just give himself where he can see the 4 and then play a safety maybe. See, he's got a big power stroke, so he might be able to do something with this.
When you're playing Scotch doubles, Corey, do you, as a player yourself,
He banked it in. What a shot that was.
That was a great shot.
Really unlucky to hit the point. It was coming down nice.
Do you find that you can tell your partner what kind of shots to make, or is it just depends on who you're playing with and how well you get along? What's that like?
Well, you would, but there's not a whole lot of time on the time clock. So if you deliberate too much on the shots, then you kind of run out of time. So it's and you want to have faith in your partner.
Yeah, that's
also
true.
To make decent decisions. If your partner asks you about some safeties, then I'll try and help out. But for the most part, you just let them do their thing, I would say.
Yes.
So they're looking at the jump here. It looks like he's got to go over the 8, which is a pretty good distance away from the cue ball. It's difficult to get over balls when they're further away.
Extension.
So I think he's looking at kicking I think I would like to spin from the first diamond there and try and catch the bottom of the 4. You might get the cue ball under the 6 ball. Well, he didn't really get under it enough. I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to do there. I think he was trying to get the cue ball to go over, maybe under the 8. This shot here, you could follow this or you could draw over, but Tyler's got a nice draw stroke, so I think he can play this with a slow draw. That was a good shot.
That's a great shot there.
Yeah. Kind of straight, so Billy's got to punch it out to the middle of the table. Hit it pretty hard. Middle ball. That was a good shot.
Lovely shot there from Billy.
So this one you don't have to do a whole lot with either. I mean, even if you stop it, you can kind of just roll the 8 aside and you're fine. So I just try and draw this back a little bit, just to make the pocketing of the ball a little easier. Yeah, just like that. That's perfect. Yeah, all the boys have been playing pretty good. Did well at the Euro Tour and in Russia.
Yeah,
and Shane won the Euro Tour, which
I was over at the Euro Tour in Holland. I like to be able to see what other events there are going on over there, and it's good to see the Euro Tour in action and just to see all of you guys going so far in the tournament, and obviously Shane taking it down. It's just, I think it's great for you guys to come over, take down a Euro Tour as such.
Yeah, it was my first Euro Tour that I've ever played in. There's just so many good tournaments in America that it's tough to come over for those. But you know, it was good to see all the guys do well in it, and you know.
So we got Carl Boys coming up for his break. I have my thoughts for Carl. He played in the last Whirlpool Masters in Manchester, I believe, so a few years ago. And I just always remember he was down and on the 8 ball, and he was so confident he was going to make this shot, and he missed it and lost the match. But he just obviously went down. He lost concentration. It was the easiest 8 ball you could have made, and he missed it. And it always replays and replays, and I always mess around with him there.
Yeah, I saw one. I think it was either Whirlpool Masters or World Cup of Pool. Alex Pagalayan missed a pretty easy one too, and Efren hit one and they hit the back of the pocket and came out. So
that's what happens in these events, though. There's so much pressure. You're not in a pool club.
Yeah, I missed a 9 my first match in this today, and yeah, it's definitely. You know, just because you miss a ball though doesn't mean you're going to miss your next one. So,
no, exactly.
You know.
Thank you. 6th rack. USA to break. Trailing 3 racks to 2.
Billy's doing some jumping jacks.
So it's 3 apiece overall here at the Spots and Stripes Club for Team USA versus Team England.
Now, Tyler went to the side rail there, I think. It's a good way to switch it up. This one he's going to have to, this is a tough shot. He's going to have to shoot this down in the corner and follow across the table and back and miss the side pocket. So not easy.
Oh, what a shot.
Middle of the pocket too, that was beauty.
Got to be super pleased with that.
So I think this one here, I kind of like getting on the bottom rail for the 3 to slide up. And he can come out to the middle of the table too, but I think it's just a little better angle if you get low on it.
I like this pairing from Team USA. I quite like watching Tyler and Billy here. I think they work well together.
Yeah, they're nice. You know, they're just playing their own game. And,
yep.
And I think they got the same pace at the table. Well, Billy got into the draw a little bit too much there. He was trying to come up for the side pocket.
Yeah, he's not happy about that, is he?
Yeah, he wanted to kind of hit a little more rail. He drew it straight up the rail. He wanted to take it off the rail a little bit. But I think Tyler can pocket this ball and just kind of try and go straight up the table, missing the 9 ball. Put the cue ball right where the 4 is would be nice.
Nice shot.
Yeah, that's good. He clipped the 9 a little bit, but he's still fine.
I'm really impressed with Tyler so far.
Oh, he's
really
he's
impressed.
stroking the ball's nice. Looks real calm and confident.
Yeah, and he's been practicing a lot with Johan the last couple of weeks as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got some time in the Netherlands with Johan, and that's I think that's helping him.
I think he's going to be quite the underdog next week at the Party Poker Mosconi Cup.
Quite the underdog?
Well, I think everyone's expecting him to be the underdog as such, but I think he's going to be extremely impressive.
Yeah, he's got a lot of confidence for a young player, you know. He's just got a lot of confidence in himself, which is important, you know. Okay, well, this should be fine. A little bit straight. I think I follow this with some spin just to get it out the middle of the table. Like that. The rails are just a little bit slow, and you know, I expected that spin to take and get the cue ball to move, but
this isn't a straightforward shot here, is it, Corey?
It's not 100. I mean, I like Tyler to make it 90 times out of 100, you know, but it's not. It's missable.
This shot at Alexandra Palace is definitely a lot more missable, isn't it? In front of 2,500 spectators.
Could be, yeah, could be.
So it's 3-all now to Team England versus Team USA, and that is also the overall score. It is race to 7 points for today's tournament. Each game is race to 5. Now, Corey, head of the Mosconi Cup that's taking place next week at Ali Pali, what are you thinking about the fans' choice of what we've obviously announced recently?
The fans' choice. Well, I was a little skeptical about the fans' choice because I'm wondering how many fans are going to pick which one. So it's an equal number of fans from USA and UK.
England to break, 3 racks all.
Are you taking an equal number of fans' votes from both
everyone,
USA fans or is it just anyone?
No, anyone can vote. But
okay, so if there's more, if there happens to be more USA fans, well, they would pick a favorable matchup for us. If there happens to be more UK fans, they might pick a favorable matchup for the UK. So it's going to depend on who has more fans is going to get the best of that vote. You see what I mean?
I think everyone might be underestimating how many fans that are going to be tuning in next week from the US, especially with our partners, APA.
I'm just curious who's got more fans, so we'll see.
I think you guys do.
So we'll be able to tell by the matchup, you know, that everybody picks. So I guess when you pick it, think about that. Or some people might just be looking for their favorite matchup that they want to see, to see who would win the tough matchup, the really tough one.
So a push out called there. I like seeing the players talk to one another when it comes to when they're at the table, like deliberating.
Yeah, I think if they had here more time, they would be able to talk more. But since we don't have much time, you can't really. I mean, on extensions you can do it a little bit, but one of the reasons why we choose not to talk very much is because there's just not that much time.
Yeah. So it's a 30-second shot clock that we actually have across all of our matchroom pool events except from the US Open. I haven't actually quite decided yet if I want to put a shot clock in the tournament or not. So
for the World or for the US Open?
For the US Open, yeah.
Reset clock, please.
So we've got Cole Boys at the table.
This is going to be tough to get a shot if you cut it in. Look at this. He made it off.
Got lucky there.
That was a little bit fortunate.
I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah. So I don't know if he can make the 3, but if he can't cut the 3 in the left pocket, he can cut it in the right pocket, and he can also try and bank it back where the 4 and 8 are. I think he's trying to cut it in the right hand corner, and it's just a weird shot. That one is one that you don't shoot with that type of spin very often, so it's a missable shot. This is a makeable kick. If he can kick to the bottom rail and catch like the rail and the ball at the same time, he can make that 3 in this corner and the cue ball come out a little bit. So curious to see what kind of speed he hits this. He decides to hit it really hard or just medium. Oh, he hit it too easy. Couldn't get it to the hole. He got it behind the 9, though. That was actually a good play. I think
yeah,
he's
it's a
just
great
trying
shot.
to play more of a safety and get the cue ball up on the 7 than trying to make it. He wasn't really. That was a great shot. Played some kicking practice with Tyler, and he was very good at kicking the ball. So
yeah.
I'm happy with him working on that part of his game, because some of the younger players that normally would be one of the weaknesses.
You may disagree with me, Corey, but I'm going to say it now. Tyler, Mosconi Cup MVP. And I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now. I think it's going to happen.
I'm trying to get in this, Whirlpool Masters. So. But he's definitely has a chance at it. Keeps playing the way he is.
Well, fans' choice, maybe, Corey. You know, there's a fans' choice now for Whirlpool Masters. You can get in.
There's a fans' choice. Hey, vote for me, please.
What do you guys think about voting for Corey Jewell?
Give an old guy a break. Or not.
You're not an old guy now. Come on.
Like a medium-aged guy. Give a medium-aged guy
a break. Give the principal a shot into the Whirlpool Masters next year on the 29th to the 31st
because Shane
of March.
Keeps scooping my shot or my chance every year, That was a nice safety there.
Yeah, good safety there from Mark. He's not unfamiliar in these kind of formats, is he? Mosconi Cup 2016, he played at Alexandra Palace.
Yeah. Well, I think they're thinking about the jump stick. But I kind of like the rail first, pretty firm, and take the cue ball around.
Would have been nice if that had just hit the 4 there and went in like Cole's nice shot earlier.
Yeah, I think we left him a shot here. 3-3. This is an important game too. Yeah, so looking like it's going to be 4-3 if they can clean these up. I think I probably follow this 2 rails and towards the 5. He's looking at the angle right now to get straight in on the 5 in the upper left-hand corner. And then it's you can get nice on this ball. It's pretty easy. Good shot. Bounced a little bit. He wasn't playing for that pocket, but he ended up nice. I think Carl can just hit this pretty soft and just stop the cue ball middle of the table.
Good shot there from Carl.
Yeah, I like the cue ball maybe a little past the spot in the middle of the table. Even straight in's fine. Now who's breaking here if they win this?
Oh, I've totally forgotten, Corey.
Oh, I caught you, didn't I?
Terrible. Well,
think of who won the lag.
Come on, someone help us out here.
Somebody help us. They almost got straight on that 8. I guess the 9 goes inside, though. Carl's telling him to get an inch away from the 9. See where you like it. Oh, he drew it out for the corner. Didn't even listen to Carl. Well, Mark Gray's playing with an ash cue, which you don't see very often. You don't see too many pool players playing with an ash cue.
So it's 4-3 to England. So they've got one more rack to take this game, or USA can obviously come back, and I believe it's Billy next to break. But it is 3-all overall in the England versus USA game here at the Spots and Stripes Club in London. This is a warm-up event for the Party Poker Mosconi Cup next week, starting from Tuesday the 4th of December. Now that is the event that everyone wants to be part of, right, Corey?
Oh yeah.
I'm obviously
That's
very biased.
We're all
but
trying to get into that one. So
it's the best event in 9-ball pool in the year, right?
Yes, best event.
2,500 spectators each session. It's going to be very noisy in there.
Yeah, it could be pretty noisy. Hopefully lots of cowboys.
Lots of cowboys. Remember, guys, you've got to dress up like cowboys. It's what Corey wants to see in the audience.
Yeah.
And if anyone can guess what Corey Jewell's walk-on music track is,
What do they
I
win?
will give you a free ticket to
wow. That's pretty
the
good.
Mosconi Cup
I think
next
Donnie
year.
Mills has a chance to guess it.
I'm not telling anyone. Don't you dare give any clues away. So what's your thoughts on the table right now, Corey? What's going through Team USA's head?
Well, that was a pretty good safety. I'm not sure if they left an edge of this ball. If they did, it will be one of the best shots I've ever seen because it's super thin. I think they can see just the edge to cut it in, but you'd have to hit a millimeter of the ball that's just hanging out. And that type of accuracy from that distance, it's just tough. Looks like he's going to try and cut it in. Maybe he can kick at it. I don't even think he can kick at it. I don't think he has a choice. He's either got to kick 2 rails or try this cut shot.
Corey, just so you know, no one has actually guessed your walk-on track yet.
Okay, good. Wow, he overcut it. That's pretty tough to do.
You guys have until the end of this match to guess for your free ticket to the Mosconi Cup next year, which I won't divulge what the dates are yet. I have to watch what I say sometimes. Don't give too much information.
I think here they're going to need to jump this and kick 2 rails and try and hit the... maybe they can see the edge of the 1? If they can... Oh, beauty.
Wow.
Wow, watch out for the corner pocket. Just slowed up.
Yeah.
And I think they left this one, it's makeable. This one, they just pretty much, if they can hit a little less than a quarter of the ball, they make it. And this is a shot of the match right here. They make this, it's over.
Down to Cole Boys to make the shot of the match. Let's see if he can do it.
It's a difficult one.
Oh.
Well, USA still has life. So this one I kind of like just hitting half the ball, play the 1 over by the green 6 ball on the rail, first diamond on the long rail, and then the cue ball maybe second diamond on the left-hand rail. So just try and leave the cue ball behind the 7-6. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Banking. Oh, he tried to cut it in. Tough shot. That was a really tough shot. And he only made it.
A straightforward shot here for Mark Gray? Or?
Yeah, this is pretty straightforward. I think they can handle the rest of these balls. I'd take this between the 7 and 2 to the middle of the table. Oh, that's a little long. Might run into the 2. Oh. Pretty good. I don't think he wanted that steep of an angle going towards the 7, though. And it looks like the 3-9 is a little more difficult. So you got a choice here. You could play the 2 with top and inside, just to try and spin 2 rails towards the 3-9 combo and play the combo. Or you can follow the cue ball 3 rails down and try and play the 3 in the side pocket on the right-hand rail. So he's playing for the combination.
Sorry?
It just isn't straightforward. And he didn't
This
fall.
isn't straightforward?
No, he didn't fall very good on it. It's not straight, so now he's got to cut the 3 and then cut the 9. So this is difficult. It's makeable. And I think the 3 is just going to lay down there by the 8, so you play the cue ball kind of onto the spot in case if you happen to miss it. Or draw the cue ball at the table.
Oh.
Ooh, they did miss it. See, I think there...
What would you have done?
It might have been better to come down and try and play the 3 in the side.
Okay. I like that he went to go for it, though.
Yeah, if you shoot the 2 that way, I think more spin to get the cue ball to spin 2 rails out a little more into the middle of the table. So Billy, another tough shot here. I don't know if he's going to try and cut the 3 in the other pocket. This is maybe the best shots to bank the 3 up table and play behind that 9. I think that's called 6 pocket system, where you just hit them hard.
I mean, that's exactly what I do when I play pool. I just shut my eyes and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
I think I played...
Not sure what he was trying to do there.
No.
I think I would have banked the 3 up, straight up the table between the 7 and 8 and try and leave it in the middle diamond on that last shot.
Oh, lovely shot there.
That was a good shot.
Yeah.
Still difficult because the 6 is behind the 8, so there's only a certain amount of places that you can make the 6 from. And I think you need to be over near where the 4 is now to be able to make it. So I think he's just, if he can just baby this in real slow, just leave the cue ball maybe 4 inches off the rail, he'll have enough room to cut the 6 to the right.
So for any of you guys that thought that Carl Boys was out of practice, that just proved you wrong. He is certainly in this
Carl's
game.
playing great. Carl's playing great. Chris Melling has made a ton of good shots.
I thought the 9 was actually going to go in there.
Yeah, those guys are playing. Those guys are playing just as good, if not better, than the Europe team right now, I believe. So I think there he should have hit that ball a little slower, though, to stay for the 6. Oh, this could go all the way around the table. Oops. Well, we might have a hill match.
We may. This would be very exciting. This is our last match of our afternoon session here today, guys. At the end of this game, we will be taking a break and we will be coming back live to you at 8 p.m. UK time. So set your watches. As soon as this game finishes, join us back here at 8 o'clock this evening from London.
I know I'm really enjoying this match. I don't want this one to end.
I know. I'd love for us to go hill.
Well, Tyler kind of overhit that one a little bit. He had a couple options. He could have went 3 rails and played for the 7 in the side pocket also instead of coming all the way around. But this is going to be a great shot by Billy if he can come with this one. Don't scratch. Oh, he got safe. Look at
Oh,
this.
he's got-
Wow. This is can't script this match. This is a great match. Now, Mark needs to thin the 7, go back up table, hope maybe get behind the 8, but I think you're better off to cut it too thin, less of a chance to leave a shot. To get the cue ball back where it is. Hit it too fat. See how the cue ball came out to the middle of the
Yeah,
table?
I noticed
now
that.
they might be able to spin this ball and cut the 7 in. Whereas if he would have hit it a little thinner, there's not really that chance of leaving this shot. It is makeable. If it's a hair off the rail, you can't hit right next to the 7. You have to hit a little bit further out to make it. And there is a scratch in play too. He could scratch in the upper corner on the left. He decided to just play the safety, which is a good choice. Not bad.
That's a nice safety shot there
It
from
is a
Tyler
good
Wright.
safety. If the ball's laying a little further off the rail, it's just too tough to make it rail first, and that's probably why he decided to do that. That was a good, smart play. This is a difficult kick because if you don't make it, you most likely leave something. He's going to try and go 2 rails and cut it into the corner. Oh, wow. It came right behind it. All right. Well, USA has a shot here.
Okay.
Long shot. This is not super easy. I think you just play it smooth with follow. And just try and take the cue ball off the bottom rail and up around the side pockets. Looks like he's going to draw to the rail.
Nice shot
Good
from
shot
Billy there.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Wouldn't do too much with this. If he's got the angle, he can follow to the end rail. If he's straight, you just stop it.
Great shot.
Stopped it.
Lovely.
That's good.
Well, let's hope Billy can make this, and then we go into 4-all.
I know.
An
it's
exciting
good
game.
After that mishap with the 7 ball to get back to the table and still get to the hill. That's big for Team USA.
So that's 4-all now, guys. Team England versus Team USA. This is the last match of our session. It is 3-all. So the winner of this game will take it ahead. We will be taking a short break. We have these poor players, they have to be fed. Corey's
Don't worry, I'll eat
tummy's
plenty.
rumbling next to me, and we have
eat
to feed them. So we will be taking a short break. We'll be returning this evening after this game at 8 p.m. from London.
The 9th and final rack, England to break.
So we've got Cole Boys on the break here.
Oh, he hit that nice.
Yeah.
Will he get a shot? Nope. Well, get into the 7. He was playing to try and go under the 9, and just a little bit too easy.
I keep telling Corey that he has to hold the microphone closer to his mouth, and
If
he's
it
just
gets
not
any more
listening to me.
closer, I'm going to eat it.
Corey, push the microphone closer to your mouth, otherwise I'm going to hit this mic over your head.
I don't know what to say.
Sorry, guys, if you can't hear our wonderful Corey Jewell. It is actually his fault, not ours. No one's actually guessed your song yet, which is
Good.
quite intriguing.
Good.
There's been a lot of comments. So,
I'd love to see what the guesses were.
I can't even read them out right now.
Okay.
I'll show you after.
What a shot. Oh, man,
Oh.
just slightly overcut it. Left it right over the hole. Well, this is right. This is right in Europe's hands here, or England's hands. I'm sorry, not Europe. England's hands. Just a couple good. I think this one I take the cue ball between the rail and the 6, come up and get an angle on the 2 with maybe a little inside. Just come straight up the rail like that. Now I think he can draw the cue ball between the 3-8. Just make sure you don't get hooked. Looks like he's punching over. No, I drew it back.
Nice shot from Mark Gray there.
Good shot. Fell a little straight on this. I'm not sure if Carl's going to choose to draw back to the rail and give himself an angle, which would be pretty simple. The rest of the balls are... Well, he didn't hit it quite as low as he wanted. He would have liked to get that a little further. But Mark should still be able to make this ball, and then 7's over the hole. Yeah. So, a couple cinchy shots. And this one's not going to go our way. But a valiant effort from the young boys, and we're still fighting hard. So we just need to win a few more games.
Corey, someone's guessed your walk-on song.
They did.
Mr. Dom Farley, send me a message after this match and you get your Mosconi Cup 2019
Who is
ticket.
It? Don Farley? Where's he from?
I have no idea. Okay, so that's 5-4 to Team England. So Mark Gray and Chris Boys take that one down. The overall score here in London is 4-3 to Team England. So USA only trailing the 1 point. It is first to 7 points here at this warm-up event for the Party Poker Mosconi Cup, which is taking place next week, Tuesday the 4th until Friday the 7th of December. It will be live at Alexandra Palace and on Sky Sports main event. This is our final match of this afternoon's session. We will now be taking a break and we will join you back at 8 p.m. this evening from London for the evening session and for the outcome of this England versus USA game. Thank you, Corey, very much.
Thank you very much. This UK team is playing really well, I'll tell you what.
Well, it's going to be an interesting evening. Make sure you all tune in, and we will see you at 8 p.m. for the play out of this tournament.
Yeah, but there is a hard defensive shot too.
Is that right? So you got to go for
What do
it.
you know? If I tried to bend it straight up, it keeps it too.